Hey, what's up, AMC apes and movie fans? I'm Chico. I'm back with another video, and it's been a while, I know. Um, I've been hanging out on Twitter a lot more lately. There is a lot more interaction over there, but I still prefer to talk about movies more than I like to just tweet about them. So, back with this one, I want to talk about a couple of great movies that we have seen, what we're going to go see, but also, more importantly, I want to talk about how and why we choose to watch some of these movies, what we can do to break the mold. I think that we're kind of in a downturn of good movies at the moment. However, if you're open-minded and you're willing to take a chance, there are always gems to be found. So I'm going to show you a couple, talk about them, and let me get started here. Now, we are going to skip on the Marvels. I think I've reached the end of my rope when it comes to Disney and Marvel. I do, however, hope that this is rock bottom and we have nowhere to go but up. But that's going to be up to Disney. I hope that they wake up and they realize that what they're doing is just not working. At this point, as I mentioned before in my videos, I don't know if this is just an agenda or um, they really don't know what they're doing. But only time will tell, and we will see. Now, the other blockbuster is Hunger Games, which we have seen the trailer. Um, I'm intrigued. I kind of want to see it. We have not seen the other two movies. However, I'm on the fence at the moment because I really don't like Renee Ziegler, whatever her name is. Um, I don't. I'm not a petty person, so I can actually overlook that. I don't care. I try to stay away from the drama of actors and writers and stuff like that. But she crosses the line as far as being toxic, where once you're attacking fans, you're being disrespectful and obnoxious, and you can't shut your mouth. Um, it hurts people going to the movies, so they don't show up. So it hurts the industry. We're gonna see. I'm anxious and curious to see what the numbers show this weekend and what people say. Um, so I'm gonna remain on the fence with an open mind enough to see it next week. Now, what we are gonna go see is gonna be Thanksgiving. There will be no leftovers. Absolutely awesome name. Horror film right up our alley. It does look pretty gruesome, pretty graphic and disturbing. So it's right up our alley. Let you know what we think about that one. The Holdovers, which has been out a couple of weeks now, I think. Um, it is a small audience, as you can see from here. However, week two has it going up by a lot, so it's usually a good sign. Um, Word of mouth might be getting out, so I expect it to be pretty good. We like this type of films. And then we're going to see Next Goal Wins, which you probably have never heard about. Um, it is obviously a sports comedy about soccer, based on a true story. America's Samoa team, which is a pretty bad team. Um, Reminds me of a movie we really liked a lot called Champions with Woody Harrelson. Came out, I think, a couple of years ago now. Should be the same vibe, so I expect it to be decent enough. Should get a good laugh. If you haven't seen anything about it, let me show you this quick little clip.
Job on the island.
All we want is just one goal. One goal.
Come on, guys! We've worked too long and hard for this.
You've only been here a few days.
So I know that this story has been told a million times. Bad news bears type of stuff. So it's okay though. I mean, I like this type of comedy. Silly. You're always looking for a good laugh. So we're gonna check it out. I'll let you know what we think of this one. And this here is another point that sold me on this movie. In case you don't know, this is called haka. It is something they do before rugby games. I'm looking forward to this scene. I'm sure they're gonna make it look pretty cool. If you have never seen that, check this out. It's a real thing. The home team does a war dance in an effort to intimidate the opponent. It's a tradition. As you can see, the opponent has to stand there and watch it face to face. I would love one day to see something like this live. I would be pumped. This is meant to hype up the crowd to, get into the game. Um, it's pretty. It's just beautiful to see. So check this out. And here it comes. Man, are you gonna mess with any of those dudes? They play football with no pads, man. This is the man's sport. Um, I like watching it. It's too bad we don't have too many feeds here in the States, but check out some of them on YouTube. I mean, even women do it. So, different countries have different dances. So, take the time. It's pretty awesome. Also, in case you don't know, and I've read this, do not take this as life advice in any way, but should you ever have the misfortune of running into a wild animal like a bobcat or a mountain lion, I don't know, coyotes, bears, um, this is what you're supposed to do, as far as I understand. I guess I'll take my chances doing this, but you are supposed to make yourself look big, look intimidating, look crazy, and try to intimidate the beast. Never ever turn around and try to run. Um, Again, please do not take that as advice from me. Read up on it. Um, should I ever have the misfortune of running into this, hopefully I can steal some moves from these guys because I'm not that big, but gotta do something. Definitely wouldn't turn around and run. Now, let me talk about what this movie or some of these movies or the main topic, what I want to talk about in this video. Now, you see some of the titles are a little outdated by now. Killers of the Flower Moon, awesome. We enjoyed it a lot. I know it is really long. However, I would say that Scorsese is one of the greatest of all time. So I know he's a boomer. I know a lot of young people are not necessarily drawn to that, but um, I hate to be morbid, but he's not going to be around forever. I didn't want to miss what could possibly be his last film. Very satisfied. I'd enjoy it all 3 hour, 3.5 hours of it. Um, would still highly recommend it. You can still catch it out there. It is good. Leo is always going to be good, even if he has drama behind the scenes, and we enjoyed the movie. Tiger 3, we're going to try to check it out next week if we can make it that far. I'm going to show you a quick little clip or at least a link to it so you can check out that trailer. And then, of course, the movies that we are going to see. But let me get to what I want to talk about in this clip or this video. Top 2023 movies. Starting with Barbie, which I know I made my video. I don't necessarily agree with it being the best, but I do see why a lot of people got caught up in the hype and liked the movie, had a good time. If you weren't a part of Barbenheimer, it was an awesome event. I love watching the theaters being all full of a bunch of boomers and a bunch of teenagers or young people all in one hallway, but everybody going to different movies. I thought it was a memorable scene. Mario Brothers, of course, speaks for itself. It did so well at the time, and I liked it. It was a good animated movie. Spider-Man Across the Verse, also good. Guardians, I'm a huge fan of, so I'm glad that came out and it was pretty decent. Um, Oppenheimer, again, awesome. So here's where I start questioning, though, right? Number 6, almost 300 million, was Little Mermaid, which I've also made my review. Um, I know the classic is a classic for a reason, so it's always hard to try and remake something that is so good originally. To begin with, I don't know why they bothered making it, but did not like the CGI, did not like the story, had so many holes. Um, when it was over, it's like, I was wondering what the hell did I just watch? Nothing made sense to me. Just as an honest review, I can see why the familiarity. People like Disney or families know the brand. Um, they know the Little Mermaid. Maybe they were hoping for something better, but I can see why they showed up to this movie, even though I don't agree with it because I know it was known pretty early on that the movie was pretty subpar. But okay, people went to see it. Avatar, I can talk about that's last year. Ant-Man and the Wasp was another disappointment because of what Disney has been doing with MCU. Again, it is a matter of brand popularity that people show up to go see it to the tune of 215 million. John Wick was pretty awesome. I have not seen 2 and 3. We really enjoyed number 4 and looking forward to number 5. Then you got Indiana Jones, which I can relate to more because when I made my review about it, and I said that I grew up with Indiana Jones, one of my favorite guys, 1 and 2. Um, I knew that this particular movie was gonna suck, but of course I had to go see it because I wanted to see it myself. And again, the whole nostalgia thing, and this may be Harrison's fourth last one. I'm assuming it will be. So why not go see it? But again, it's a case of nostalgia more than being really excited about going to see it. Mission Impossible was pretty awesome. Did not know there were so many of them, but had a great time watching this one. And let me scroll to what I want to say. But real quick, let me pause here. Again, my movie of last year, movie of the year for 2022 was Puss in Boots. If you haven't seen it, you're an adult, you think it's a cartoon and it's bad. It's the best, most complete movie that's been made or recent time that I could think. So if you've kept away from it, read up on it and check it out. I'm sure most people would tell you it was the best cartoon around. And it's not a cartoon, it's a movie for adults, trust me. Now, where's my movie? Damn it. We're all the way down to number 47, The Creator, right? Now, I talked about this a lot on Twitter, and I've been to some forums and stuff because I really, really enjoyed this film. Unfortunately, as you can see here on Tomato Meter, I can never count on them. I despise Tomato Meter. I don't know if it's just paid people or just too old. I don't know. But there is something. I don't like how many times they have discrepancies between audience scores and their ratings. But okay, who cares? They're actually pretty fair on what the consensus is. Visually stunning and packed with spectacular set pieces, yes. The creator serves up timely, well acted sci fi that satisfies in the moment, even if it lacks substance. Yes, and yes. I don't know what they mean by lacking substance. Don't agree with it, but at least I think it's a fair thesis, fair assessment. Um, Maybe what they're trying to say is that, the creator isn't original, which hurts it. Again, I'm going to get to why I'm even making this video. Um, Lack of substance, I don't get it because there is so much to this movie. As what the audience says, excellent performances and fantastic visual effects make the creator an entertaining watch. Absolutely, because we watched it both in Dolby and the second time in IMAX. It was awesome in IMAX. And the questions raised by the thought provoking story will stay with you after the closing credits. Yes, this is the best way I would describe this movie. That's why it was a good movie. But, for the most part, as you can see by the numbers, it did pretty bad. It's unfortunate, but I believe, one, sci fi is a specific genre. Not everybody's tuned into it. However, um, it is something to keep in mind because whether you like it or not, it's here, right? AI is something that Wall Street is driving. Now, my personal view, and I would love to hear yours if you happen to watch this video. It's all a bunch of baloney. It's a lot of BS. I think that Wall Street always needs something to pump the market with. So at the current time, it is AI, whether it was .com, e-commerce, electric vehicles, the bug and the cure. They always have to have a narrative to carry over and pump the stock market. That's how I see it. Now, I'm not super tech savvy. It has blown by me. I used to like technology a lot, but if you know more, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. The way I see it is basically what computers do now: gather your information, run algorithms, and execute a program. That's not being or coming alive or developing itself into something greater. It's just, to me, it sounds like a bunch of blown up words to make it seem like there's something greater than what it is. Now, even before I watched this movie, I considered, like I said, it's programming. They make a mention of that during this movie. Some characters see it that way, other people see it a different way. That's why they say it's thought provoking. To give you one of my favorite scenes in this movie, because now that it's almost out of the theaters, you can still see it on a digital screen, but It's coming out on streaming pretty soon. I just saw the ad for it. Um, in a scene like this, where the main character, who already lost his wife and unborn child, obviously feeling pretty depressed and in deep thought, and is traveling to a world of machines versus humans and things decaying, and in this advertising world where they see an ad from Corporation X, whatever the name was, they're looking to buy your likeness, and they don't make any of it. You just have to listen to it and you see it. And not long after, you see a scene where he is traveling in deep thought and he looks up and he sees his wife's face on one of these AI synthetic people. So naturally, I mean, what would you feel if you were to experience something like that? If you had lost your loved ones and your baby, and you get into life and you suddenly look up and you see somebody moving with her likeness, and not a second later, after going through the initial shock, he looks over to another side and he sees another one. So obviously they had taken her likeness and used it. It's a real thing, right? It is what the actors were kind of arguing. One of the things they're arguing about lately with the strike was that Hollywood wants to take their likeness and use it however they please. Obviously, they don't want that. So, um, no matter how you feel about it, it's around us, right? It's going to be used as a reason or excuse to replace people with technology. Um, I personally don't like it. I don't like where it's going, but it's inevitable. Inevitable. So whether you like sci-fi or not, um, I think that watching things like this kind of give you a perspective, something where it won't catch you or won't catch you off guard completely. If you think that it's something you can just overlook or it doesn't affect you, I believe it will, because Wall Street says so. And if they say so, things are changing that way, where they want to use the narrative of artificial intelligence for everything. I don't know exactly what to think. I've seen a test where, ChatGPT, which is the biggest thing right now, or one of the popular things to mess around with AI, where they typed it or they made it write an essay, a good essay about Joe Biden, and it printed it out. It did it, but then they asked the same thing about writing a good essay about Donald Trump, and it wouldn't execute it. It would say that it has a blog to say anything nice about Trump. Um, it's odd, you never know who's telling the truth or who's not. But again, if that's the case, then it seems to me this is programming and somebody's behind it, and we don't know what it is. So it's dangerous. But anyway, a lot of this movie is one that you should not have missed. But if you did, it's something to keep in mind. I mean, what I'm trying to relay here is that taking a chance on a movie, on an original, especially maybe like I'm going to wait for what's it called, the Hunger Games. If you need to wait and hear maybe some more word of mouth from trusted sources um, about how a movie does, I know it sucks because it's always going to cost you to go see a movie and the time that you invest in it. You don't want to get you don't want to go to one that completely leaves you um, like you just watch, you just wasted your time. As you can see from this line alone, which I really like, being that it is the audience consensus that says it. This is what I love about movies, right? You always want to learn something or remember something about it that makes it special. Um, I could give you another quick example, which I talked about in this channel before. This movie, Creation of the Gods, again, awesome movie, but you probably didn't hear about it. 9 reviews by Tomato Meter, over 100. I don't know how many on the audience score here, 92%. Um, I would keep it on this level, 95, even 100. I love this movie. It was so good. But the only down I would give it is because I had to read so many subtitles during a epic scene, so you can't keep up with everything. But I did my best. Something that will always I will always remember. One of my favorite scenes in this movie. Hold on. One of my favorite scenes in this movie, which I can share with you, but in case you want to see it yourself, don't listen to this. But has to do with the good guy in this film, because this is a war type movie where fathers and sons are important and one gets kidnapped. So whoever controls the hierarchy is who controls the land. So this is the good guy here, that old guy that you just saw, who you kind of cheer for, but he goes through a lot. They find a little baby in the wilderness. And it's a small scene among all this awesomeness that you're seeing on this preview here, like all this stuff that's going on. During the movie, you'll see a scene where they find a little winged demon baby. And obviously, his men want to kill it because they say he's a demon, he must die. But the good old man tells them, um, we can't kill it, it's just a baby. And even though it has the nature of evil being a demon, if you raise them the right way with love, tenderness, and the right way, it will learn to be a good being. And you don't make much of it because it's a short scene, but kind of nice, and then you start getting caught up with all the stuff that's going on. Later on, the same old man who goes through just tragic stuff. It is harsh. It is harsh. Again, one of the beauties of foreign films is that they're not afraid to show you and shock you in different ways. Um, and he's left pretty much for dead to walk out, and they're just chasing him, hunting him down, pretty much caught. And you pretty much know this is it. Oh God, they're just about to fire arrows from the sky. He's about to die, and you think he's gonna die. Lo and behold, out of nowhere, boom! This thing falls out of the sky, forms a shield. The arrows ricochet off the shield, and you can guess who it was, right? This is the grown-up demon baby. He saves him. Check out this quick little scene. That's him. Carries him away from death. And as he's kind of almost dead, like groggy, he looks up and says, "What? Who are you?" And this stuff, and he recognizes that it was the baby that he saved. Um, you wouldn't think a little things like that in movies like this, right? Martial arts, all kinds of cool stuff going on, but a lot of these movies are very much worth your money and time to go see. And if you do show up, it brings more because, for example, this movie, I didn't look up the numbers, but I think it made over 200 million in China on its opening weekend. It's a hit. It is a beautiful movie, but most of us don't know about it because we don't look for them or we don't know to look for them. So check it out. You check out the trailer, see what you think. If you find it somewhere, check it out. But again, the main thing I want to say is that if we find a way to change the way we think, right? Because we see blockbusters all the time, we see names, and then we go see them and we're a little disappointed when we leave, right? We watch the Marvels. I try to stay away from reviews again. I don't really need to hear much about it, but I know, you know, it's just not good. So, where is your money better spent? You go see this movie, you go see The Little Mermaid because you're familiar with it, even if you think that even if you kind of know that it's just not as good, it's not going to be as good. Or will you take a chance and look up some of this more obscure stuff that is really good? Um, Before I'm done here, let me show you like real quick because I can't show you trailers to this because these Hindi films, they copyright. I've done this video before and I got a copyright thing. I was like, oh man. Leo Bloody Sweet. Please go check out this trailer. This movie was so much better than I expected. We try not to read up on it because I kind of want to see the show and experience it. Look at this guy, man. Poor kid. This kid is born to be a villain in any movie. Look at that face. And this guy is wicked, man. I'll tell you again, foreign films are not afraid to shock you. They will show you like stuff that will shake you in a way that American films don't. This guy is crazy wicked, as you can see by the look on his face. From a very neutral point of view, it's like, who is this guy? Are they good? And they're going to show you that they are really good. I have no complaints. We've seen maybe 8 of these movies by now. Every one of them has left me satisfied, has left me like happy that I saw it. Leo has its own soundtrack. Um, During the movie, man, it's just playing. It's like, holy shit. I remember I leaned over to Red Zoom and I told her, this music is good. It's just some tense scenes. It's just vibing with the action and stuff. It's more that I want to say of what I see currently in modern American Hollywood. So definitely worth your time to go check out the trailers and see if you want to take a chance. Tiger 3 here, I'm not going to show you the thing because I think this is what copyrighted me, but check it out. I mean, you want to be entertained, you want to leave the theater happy, having seen something that's different, something cool, something that still upholds, family life. Like right here, as you see on the scene, I really like to see these things where, man, women, child are getting along, or at least trying to have a good life, and then all hell breaks loose. Love those type of films. Um, and I think that's it. I mean, sorry, I always make these videos long, but um, my final thought pretty much is keep that in mind. I mean, we tend to think like, okay, there's no good movies out there right now, but there is. There is if you dig through the stuff and say, you know what, why don't we go check something new, something different, see what we think. You're gonna have to make the effort of reading subtitles, but so far, what I can tell you, and this is a true sentiment, um, we haven't missed. Every movie that we've seen with subtitles, whether it's Chinese, um, Hindi, they've been great. No More Bets was another great movie to go see, and I have a review of that one in this channel. Um, Check them out. I mean, the movies are never going to be done. This is something that I have made this channel for. There's always something to go see and have a good time and enjoy it the way you're supposed to see it at a theater, in the big screen, with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Um, that's what it's about. So I'll see you on the next one. I'm going to try to be a little more active back in YouTube. So take care, and hopefully, I'll see you next week.